प्रणेष्ये तत्त्वसंहिताम् सहाहं स्वांशकलया त्वद्वीर्येण महामुने तव क्षेत्रे देवहूत्यां प्रणेष्ये तत्त्वसंहिताम् सहाहं स्वांशकलया त्वद्वीर्येण महामुने तव क्षेत्रे देवहूत्यां प्रणेष्ये तत्त्वसंहिताम्. Word to word translations. Saha, with, aham, I, swa amsha kalaya, my own plenary portion, tvatviryena, by your semen, mahamune, O great says, tavakshetre, in your wife, devahutyam, in devahuti, praneshye, I shall instruct, tattva, of the ultimate principles, samhitam, the doctrine. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. O great says, I shall manifest my own plenary portion through your wife Devahuti, along with your 9 daughters, and I shall instruct her in the system of philosophy that deals with the ultimate principles or categories. Purport. Here in the word Swamshakalaya indicates that the Lord would appear as the son of Devahuti and Kardam Muni as Kapila Deva, the first proponer of the Sankhya philosophy, which is mentioned here as Tattva Samhita. The Lord foretold to Kardam Muni that he would appear in his incarnation Kapila Deva and would propagate the philosophy of Sankhya. Sankhya philosophy is very well known in the world as propagated by another Kapila Deva. But that Sankhya philosophy is different from the Sankhya which was propounded by the Lord himself. There are 2 kinds of Sankhya philosophy. One is godless Sankhya philosophy and the other is godly Sankhya philosophy. The Sankhya propagated by Kapila Deva, son of Devahuti, is godly philosophy. There are different manifestations of the Lord. He is one, but he has become many. He divides himself into 2 different expansions, one called Kala and the other Vibhinnamsa. Ordinary living entities are called Vibhinnamsha expansions, and the unlimited expansions of Vishnu Tattva such as Vamana, Govinda, Narayana, Pradyumna, Vasudeva and Ananta are called Swamshakala. Swamsa refers to a direct expansion and Kala denotes an expansion from the expansion of the original Lord. Baladeva is an expansion of Krishna and from Baladeva the next expansion is Sankarshana. Thus Sankarshana is Kala but Baladeva is Swamsha. There is no difference however among them. This is very nicely explained in the Brahma Samhita 5.46. Deepa chireva hi dashantaram abhyupetya. With one candle, one may light a second candle. With the second, a third, and then a fourth. And in this way, one can light up thousands of candles. And no candle is inferior to another in distributing light. Every candle has the full candle power. But there is still the distinction that one candle is the first, another the second, another the third, and another the fourth. Similarly, there is no difference between the immediate expansion of the Lord and his secondary expansion. The Lord's names are considered in exactly the same way. Since the Lord is absolute, his name, his form, his pastimes, his paraphernalia, and his qualities all have the same potency. In the absolute world, the name Krishna is the transcendental sound representation of the Lord. There is no difference in potency between his qualities, name, form, etc. If we chant the name of the Lord Hare Krishna, that has as much potency as the Lord himself. There is no difference in potency between the form of the Lord whom we worship and the form of the Lord in the temple. One should not think that one is worshipping a doll or statue of the Lord, even if others consider it to be a statue, because there is no difference in potency. One gets the same result by worshipping the statue of the Lord or the Lord himself. This is the signs of Krishna consciousness. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sakrajatam Sahagana Raghunadanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Vishakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So today we heard the news of the glorious departure of His Holiness Kandamma Kannan Swami Maharaj. Let's dedicate this class for his glorious departure and for his safe journey to the lotus feet of his spiritual master in the Goloka Dham, and serve Shri Shri Radha Krishna eternally. We are seeking his blessings to be the instruments in carrying forward this movement for the pleasure of Shri Shri Srila Prabhupada. So here, this is a amazing verse. Just 2 days back, we celebrated the appearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is none other than Krishna himself. So here, today, in this verse, we are seeing that Lord is giving amazing benediction to Kardama Muni. See the great fortune of Kardama Muni. Though he is a yogi, with his austerities, with his purity, not only he has the darshan of Lord Vishnu, but also he is fulfilling the desire of Kardama Muni with a nice wife. And on top of it, he is giving a benediction which is so glorious that he said that he will appear himself as an incarnation in the womb of his wife Devahuti. See how great fortune. So we should take the blessings of all these acharyas, of all these great sages, that we can also have the darshan and have the reciprocation. People used to say that all the gods are same, all who you can worship anyone, you can whomever you worship, you will get mukti, you will go to Vishnu, wherever you want to go, you can go. So these are all the nonsense philosophy. Here, Lord said that when Lord says that I will come personally as avatara as your child, we have to take that as the authorized. Otherwise, we should not think every random person as avatara and start worshipping them. So it is not authorized. And here it is said that very nicely the difference between Swamsa and Vibhinamsa. Hope you all, we came across in the earlier chapters also. From the second canto, we came these differences. But as a recap, it will be useful for all of us. So Swamsa means when the Lord himself immediately expanded himself, those are all the expansions are called as Swamsa. So when they Swamsas appear, it can be in any avataras. There are 6 types of avataras, right? Purusha avataras, Leela avataras, Guna avataras, Manvantara, all 6 types of. So any avatara, these are all coming under Swamsa. And they are Vibhinamsa. Vibhinamsa are separated expansions of the Supreme Lord. They are not the direct expansions, but expansions of the expansions, and it is totally jivas. They are separated expansions. Though we are all part and parcel of Krishna, like small fire particles are there, falling apart and coming here, right? So here and there, those are all called the Vibhinamsas. And what is the difference is Swamsa will have almost all the qualities of the Supreme Lord, but we have only very partial amounts. So you know that, right? Brahma is the Jiva. He is the Vibhinamsa. And whereas Narayana, Vamana, Varaha, Narasimha, these are all the Swamsa. They will have 60 qualities out of 64 qualities of Krishna. Whereas Brahma, the Jiva, will have only 50 qualities. So we should understand that Jiva can never become the God. We cannot exceed this maximum of 50 qualities. Whatever we do tapasya, we do any austerities, anything you do, we cannot become the Swamsas. Why? Because it is the limitation, it is the quality of the Vibhinamsas. So these Mayavadis, they will say that when you are a sannyasa, when you leave this body, you will be, when you take sannyasa itself, you will become Narayana, and you will merge in that big Narayana. You are small Narayana, you will become a big Narayana, you will merge in that. No, that is the nonsense philosophy. Vibhinamsa can never become Swamsa, but we can have the eligibility. The Jiva can have the eligibility to become up to the Brahma, but not beyond the stage of Brahma as Vibhinamsa. Even these Vibhinamsas, maybe they are the demigods, they are the powerful representatives of the Lord. Maybe means Sakyavesha Avatara, I'm not talking about. These Vibhinamsas are different. So the demigods with a powerful yogi who can go here and there, who can have all siddhis, Ashtasiddhis. But still, he is considered as the Vibhinamsa only. But he can never become the Swamsa. Satyavesha Avataras are the different. They are the liberated souls. They are, Krishna said that they are as equal as me. And they are, they can be transferred here to any planet for preaching purpose as the representative of the Supreme Lord. That means he will empower, even though they don't have all 60 or 64 qualities, these Satyavesha Avataris, they will be empowered by the Supreme Lord. That means they can, for the time being, they can act with all the powers. Suppose a power of attorney is given for a person on behalf of a owner of some property. So the other person may be poor, he doesn't have any knowledge, he doesn't have any qualification. But as soon as this owner gives the power of attorney to that person, he will be imbibed with all the powers. In the same way, these are the extraordinary cases of Sakyavesha avatars. Lord will empower, because nothing is impossible for the Lord, right? So he will empower such personalities with the extraordinary powers, and he will send them wherever he wants to send them for the preaching purpose, for the upliftment of the various souls. So in that time, when they are empowered, when they are Satyavesha avatars, we should see them as equal as the Lord. Okay. This is the difference between the Swamsa and Vibhinamsa. And here it is mentioned from the Brahma Samhita, Deepachireva, in that shloka, there is no difference. In all the, among all the Anantarupas, Advaitam, Achyutam, Anadi, Anantarupam, Lord, he is innumerable, infinite number of these Swamsas are there. So there is no difference. And usually South Indian Brahmanas, they're strictly against this. Even when we show so many proofs from Gopal Tapani Upanishad, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura commentary, Jiva Goswami's commentary, they don't even accept when Chatushloki Bhagavatam, during that time, Brahma, he saw Sakshat Krishna only. But they don't accept. Even we show so many proofs, because there, if you say Gopal Tapani Upanishad, it is clearly mentioned that Brahmaji saw the Krishna as a coward boy. But these people, South Indian Brahmanas, they say that don't bring your Krishna here. It is purely Narayana only. Don't say that Krishna is greater than the Narayana. No. Here, this is the evidence, Deepachireva. So, Krishna is the first candle, and all other candles are the second, third, fourth. And these are all called as Swamsa Kala. Rama Dimuti Shukala Niyamena Tishtan Nana Vatara Makarod Bhuvaneshu Kintu Krishna Swayam Samabhavat Paramapumanyo Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So we should understand two terms here. Ramadi Mutishu Kala. Kala Niyamena Tishtan. So it is clearly mentioned. And in the third line it is mentioned, Krishna Swayam Samabhavat Paramapumanyo. So Swayam Samabhavat. Swayam means he is not depending on anyone else. He is not the expansion of anyone else. Swayam, Krishna Swayam Samabhavat. Sambhavat. So how he is appeared? By his own potency, by his own Yogamaya potency, not by anyone's help. And it is said that Ramadi Motishu Kala Niyamena. Kalam says, so Rama and etc. Ramadi Motishu Adi. Adi means Rama and other expansions are Kala Amsha, from whom Swayam Bhagavan Krishna. So these are all the very clearly explained. This is the jewel gift to all of us by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this Brahma Samhita. So that one chapter itself is answering all the arguments in this material world. Just imagine if you get total Brahma Samhita, we have only for the 5th chapter of Brahma Samhita. If we have total chapters, how many secrets would have revealed? We are literally missing all the other chapters. So one chapter itself is giving so much of clarity about the Krishna's position. And all these Rama, Narasimha, Vamana, they are all the expansions. So we don't need to discriminate. But when there is argument about the Krishna's position, we should strongly able to answer about this one. So these are all the Swamsa and Vibhinamsa. So when again here in the purport it is mentioned that Lord's names are considered in exactly the same way. So we should Lord said that he will appear. When Lord himself said that why are we chanting Krishna's name? Why we not chant that Kapila Deva's name, or why we should not chant any other Narayana form? Yes, we can. But we are from the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. And we are the followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave the highest ripened fruit to all of us. So when Goloka Dhamni Nijadhamni Talecha Tasya. So Talecha Tasya means when the topmost planet Goloka, he is giving access to all of us. The entry ticket to the highest planet to all of us. Why should we waste? So, and he is saying that you don't need to do big homas, yagnas. You don't need to do big prayers, Purushottama prayers, this prayer, that prayer. And you don't need to do morning till night, Daiva Aradhana. No need of worship, going to the temple. We are all in various faraway places from the holy dhams in India. So, especially how we can go and serve the deities in those dhams. So, sthane sthite. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that wherever you are, you don't need to sacrifice anything. Either you are in US or in UK or in Australia, anywhere. You can directly connect to the same Lord, very same Lord, just by chanting the holy names. Because Abhinnatva Nama Namana. There is no difference between the Lord and his holy name. If you are worshipping, if you are chanting, that is equal to the worship, it is equal to the Aradhana, it is equal to all other 8 process of devotional service. Shravanam, Kirtanam is enough in this Kali Yuga. We can directly connect to the Lord, and it is as good as worshipping the Lord in the temple. And here, Lord said there are 2 Sankhya philosophies Srila Prabhupada mentioned. We should be very careful whenever we come across Sankhya philosophy. We should see the disciplic succession of that Sankhya philosophy, whether it is coming from the cheater Kapila, or because the unfortunate thing is both are Kapilas only. That fake Sankhya philosophy and this Sankhya philosophy, both are by Kapila only. But that's why the son of Devahutis, Kapila Deva's Sankhya philosophy is the authorized one. We should see which Kapila Deva is that author of that Sankhya philosophy. We should be very careful. And we don't need to go into those deep Sankhya philosophy also. Even Kapila Deva's Sankhya philosophy is discussing more about the 24 elements of this material world, and then about the creation, and then complete creation, and then about the devotion towards the Supreme Lord. Whereas the other atheistic Sankhya philosophy, they say that there is all, these 24 elements is all in all. There is nothing beyond that. Means mainly they are focusing about the universal form of the Lord, Virat Rupa of the Lord, that atheistic. And they say that that is the all in all. So we don't need to follow that atheistic Sankhya philosophy, which is very, very condemned, which need to be condemned. So that is, we have to be careful. And here it is mentioned that when we are seeing the deity, we should not think that as the stone. See, in the last 3 lines, one should not think that one is worshipping a doll or statue of the Lord, even if others consider it to be a statue, because there is no difference in potency. One gets the same result by worshipping the statue of the Lord or the Lord himself. So it is said that we should not think that when we see the deity, we should not think it as a stone made out of wood or metal or rock. We should not think like that. And when a spiritual master is there, we should not think him as an ordinary person. And when we see a holy dham, We should not think it as a recreation place of recreation. So these are all, there are so many out there. These are all the offenses. One who sees like that, they will fall down. Even when we are worshipping Tulasi Maharani every day, वृंदायै तुलसी देव्यायै प्रियायै केशवस्य च Vishnu Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavatye Namo Namaha. So there is one of the Siksha Gurus, he is staying in Vrindavan Dham. So one time he went to serve a Maharaj. He was staying with him for almost 10 days. So every day he is serving him nicely. So that Maharaj, they both attended. This Prabhu and that Maharaj, they both attended as usual every day this Tulasi Arati. And when he is doing the Arati, on that day the Prabhu is doing the Arati, so the Maharaj is noticing everything. Then after the Arati is over, Maharaj asked him, why are you not deeply connected to Tulasi Maharani when you are doing Arati? There, this Prabhu said that he humbly accepted. Yes, Maharaj, I'm not an elevated soul. I'm trying to become a devotee. I'm trying to practice. No, you should see Tulsi Maharani standing there. Whenever you are thinking it is just a plant, she will reciprocate to us like a plant only. She will appear, she will give darshanas just plant only. But when you are doing sincerely this Tulasi Arati, you can see the person, Tulsi Maharani, standing there and accepting our offerings, accepting our Arati. She will bless. She will give. This Tulasi Arati is most confidential, most esoteric. It's like you all know Sambandha Abhidaya Prayojana. She is the giver of Prayojana. She Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavatye Namo Namaha. And every line will say that Sevadi Karadiya Karo Nijadasi. So she can give Krishna Seva, she can give Krishna Bhakti, she can give Krishna Prema. So this is the highest worship. So when we are seeing as a plant and we are seeing she is having bugs, she is having the infections. So when we are thinking like that, she will reciprocate to us like that only. So in same way, the deities also, when we are seeing, when we are, especially when we are doing everyday worship, we will take it for granted. Okay, I have to do this. It will become monotonous or routine. We have to be very, very careful to keep up the mood, keep the same enthusiasm, and to continue. Mood is very important while we are doing the devotion. So the same serving mood to the direct personal forms of Sri Radha Krishna, Radha Madhava, Radha Shyam Sundarji, Tulsi Maharani, or Srila Prabhupada. So the mood and the same mood, even when we are running out of time. So we should not be in a rush. We should be able to relish whatever service we are doing. That is very good, and they will be very much pleased. So even with there is no proper mood, even we do sumptuous prasadam or abundant service, Krishna will accept. He is so merciful, but the mood, the relishment, the reciprocations is different. Okay, Hare Krishna. With this, I'll conclude the session. If there are any questions, please post in Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya group.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Such a wonderful class. Those words Mataji mentioned at the beginning, the message is also posted in the group, so everybody can remember His Holiness Kadambakar Maharaj, wonderful pastimes which happened. So it's very hurt, and always devotees feel the separation. So let's all pray and chant together. Maharaj, and let's chant Hare Krishna 3 times. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama,
Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama.
Ram,
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
His Holiness Kadam Bhakti Swami Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Let's also pray to the Lord Narasimha, Sri Narasimha, Jai Narasimha, Jai Jai Narasimha,
Nrsimha Jai Nrsimha Jai
Kaladeshaya
Nrsimha Jai
Padma
Nrsimha Jai
Padma
Ugram Veeryam Mahavishnu
Vishnu
Nrsimha
Jagadantam
Jai
Sarvatomukham
Narasimham Vishnam
Narsimham Bhadram Mrityam Mrityam
Namaha
Namaham.
Narasimhadev Bhagavani ki jai.
Jai.
Prabhat Maharaj ki jai.
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 Let's pay our obeisance to all the assembled Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. Vancha
Vancha
kalpatarubhasya
kalpatarubhyascha
kripa
kripa
sindhubhyeva padidanam pavanebhyo
pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah.
Krishna Vrunda ki jai.
Jai.
Shri Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta
Jai.
ki jai. Holiness
Jai.
Bhagavatam Swami Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Guru Premanandi. Hari Hari.
Hari Hari. Thank you, Kalindi Mataji. Wonderful. Hari.
Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.